One bird can recruit humans to help it find hidden beehives. Another uses volcanic heat to hatch its eggs without ever sitting on them. Some can walk across floating plants as if they were walking on water, while others can imitate sounds so perfectly that they can fool entire forests. These abilities may sound like superpowers from a movie, but every one of them belongs to a real bird living on Earth today. Welcome to Nature Orbies. Let's discover 15 birds with incredible abilities that prove nature is capable of things far stranger than fiction. Greater Honey Guide. The greater honey guide possesses one of the strangest abilities in the animal kingdom. It recruits humans to help it find food. Native to parts of Africa, this bird has developed a remarkable partnership with local people. The honey guide leads humans to wild beehives by flying ahead, calling repeatedly, and waiting for followers to catch up. Once the hive is located and opened, humans take the honey while the bird feeds on leftover wax, bee larvae, and other remains. Few wild animals actively cooperate with humans in such a specialized way. Scientists consider this one of the clearest examples of a mutually beneficial relationship between people and a free-living bird. Watching a honey guide lead someone through the landscape feels less like bird watching and more like witnessing an ancient partnership that has survived for generations. Black skimmer. The black skimmer hunts using a method unlike almost any other bird. Its lower bill is longer than its upper bill, creating a specialized tool for fishing. As it flies just centimeters above the water, the bird drags the lower half of its bill through the surface like a knife. The moment it touches a fish, the bill snaps shut with incredible speed. This technique allows the skimmer to catch prey while remaining airborne, making it one of the most distinctive hunters in the bird world. Large groups often skim together across rivers, lakes, and coastlines, creating an unforgettable sight as dozens of birds sweep low over the water in perfect formation. African jacana. The African jacana is often called the Jesus bird because it appears to walk on water. Its secret lies in its extraordinarily long toes and claws, which spread the bird's weight across floating vegetation. This adaptation allows jacanas to walk across water lilies and other aquatic plants without sinking. While larger animals would break through the surface, the jacana glides effortlessly across the floating landscape as if it were solid ground. This ability gives the bird access to food sources and nesting areas that many predators cannot easily reach. Watching one step delicately across a wetland creates the illusion that gravity works differently for this remarkable species. White bellbird. The white bellbird possesses a superpower that isn't visual, it's auditory. Males produce one of the loudest bird calls ever recorded, reaching sound levels comparable to heavy industrial noise. Found in South American rainforests, the bird's explosive call can be heard across long distances through dense vegetation. Scientists believe the extreme volume helps males attract females and compete with rivals. The sound is so powerful that researchers studying the species have had to be careful when recording it at close range. In a world where many birds rely on colorful feathers to stand out, the white bellbird has evolved a different strategy: overwhelming volume. Maleo. The maleo, found only on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, has solved the problem of incubation in a spectacularly unusual way. Instead of sitting on its eggs, this bird buries them in warm sand heated by sunlight or volcanic activity. Maleo eggs are enormous compared to the size of the adult bird, and the geothermal heat does the work that parental body warmth would normally provide. Once the chicks hatch, they dig their way to the surface and are immediately capable of running and flying. The adults provide no further care. Using the earth itself as a natural incubator is one of the most extraordinary reproductive strategies found in any bird. So far, we've seen birds that cooperate with humans, walk across floating vegetation, and even use volcanoes to hatch their eggs. But the abilities ahead become even more unbelievable. including a bird that can survive in a hibernation-like state, and another that turns pine cones into food with a specialized beak. Common poorwill. The common poorwill has a superpower almost unheard of among birds. It can enter a state resembling true hibernation. During cold periods or times of food shortage, the bird dramatically lowers its body temperature and metabolic rate, allowing it to conserve energy for extended periods. Most birds must remain active to survive, but the poorwill can essentially pause its normal lifestyle until conditions improve. Early naturalists were so surprised by this ability that they struggled to believe what they were observing. This remarkable adaptation helps the species survive in environments where insects, the bird's primary food source, may become scarce for long stretches of time. Red crossbill. The red crossbill looks as though its beak was assembled incorrectly. The upper and lower mandibles cross over each other instead of meeting neatly in the middle. But this unusual design is actually a highly specialized tool. The bird inserts its crossed bill between the scales of a pine cone, pries them apart, and extracts seeds that many other birds cannot reach. Different populations of crossbills have evolved beaks suited to different conifer species, turning them into precision specialists. What appears strange at first glance is actually one of nature's most elegant solutions to accessing a difficult food source. Horned coot. The horned coot may be one of the bird world's most ambitious builders. Found in the high-altitude lakes of South America, it constructs massive floating nests made from stones and aquatic plants. Some nests contain thousands of stones and can weigh hundreds of kilograms. The birds repeatedly dive underwater to collect building material, creating structures large enough to support both adults and chicks. Few birds invest so much effort in construction. Their engineering ability transforms them from simple nest builders into architects of floating islands. Greater Ani. The greater Ani demonstrates a social superpower, cooperative parenting. Instead of nesting as isolated pairs, multiple adults may share a single nest and work together to raise their young. Eggs from different females are laid in the same nest, and the group collectively participates in incubation and chick care. This unusual strategy increases the number of adults available to defend the nest and feed the chicks. In a world where many birds compete with one another, the greater Ani shows that cooperation can be a powerful survival strategy. Pigeon guillemot. Most birds are masters of the air, but the pigeon guillemot is also a master of the water. This seabird uses its wings to propel itself underwater, effectively flying beneath the surface. It can chase fish through coastal waters with impressive agility, using the same basic structures that allow it to fly in the air. Watching a guillemot dive and maneuver underwater feels like seeing a bird temporarily transform into a fish. This dual mastery of air and water is one of the reasons seabirds are among the most specialized animals on Earth. We've already seen underwater flight, giant floating nests, and birds that can slow their bodies almost to a standstill. The final abilities on this list become even stranger, including a bird that fires stomach oil at enemies, and another that can imitate an entire rainforest soundscape. Nicobar pigeon. The Nicobar pigeon possesses an extraordinary navigation ability that helps it travel between scattered tropical islands. These beautiful birds regularly cross stretches of open ocean while locating remote islands that may be little more than tiny green dots on the horizon. Their iridescent feathers often attract attention first, but their true superpower is orientation and navigation. Long-distance island travel requires precise movement across environments with few obvious landmarks, making the Nicobar pigeon one of the bird world's impressive natural navigators. Northern fulmar. The northern fulmar has one of the strangest defenses in the bird kingdom. When threatened, it can eject a stream of oily liquid from its stomach. This foul-smelling oil coats predators and can damage the waterproofing of their feathers, making life much harder for attacking seabirds. The substance also serves as an energy-rich reserve that helps the bird survive long periods at sea. Combining a chemical defense with a built-in emergency food supply is an extraordinary example of evolutionary efficiency. Egyptian plover. The Egyptian plover is famous for its association with crocodiles. Although the dramatic story of it cleaning crocodile teeth is debated by scientists, the bird is regularly found near crocodiles and benefits from feeding opportunities around them. Living alongside one of Africa's most powerful reptiles requires remarkable awareness and timing. Whether feeding on insects disturbed by the crocodile or exploiting the safety that large predators can provide, the Egyptian plover demonstrates how some birds survive by forming unusual ecological relationships. Satin bowerbird. The satin bowerbird's superpower is architecture. Instead of building a simple nest to attract a mate, the male constructs an elaborate structure called a bower and decorates it with carefully selected objects, especially items that are blue. Flowers, berries, feathers, and even human-made objects may be arranged with remarkable attention to detail. Females inspect these displays before choosing a partner. The result is one of the most sophisticated courtship constructions in the animal kingdom, turning the bird into a designer and artist rather than just a builder. Superb lyrebird. Our final bird may possess the most astonishing vocal ability of all. The superb lyrebird can imitate an incredible range of sounds with remarkable accuracy. In addition to copying other birds, it has been recorded mimicking camera shutters, chainsaws, car alarms, and other human-made noises. Males use these performances during courtship displays, creating a constantly changing soundscape that can fool even experienced listeners. The lyrebird's combination of vocal learning, memory, and performance makes it one of nature's greatest imitators and a fitting finale for a list of birds with abilities that seem almost impossible. From birds that recruit humans and walk on floating plants to masters of mimicry and underwater flight, these remarkable species prove that evolution can produce abilities that feel like genuine superpowers. Each adaptation helps its owner survive in a unique environment, turning ordinary birds into extraordinary specialists. Which superpower surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to Nature Orbeez for more wonders hidden on our planet.